Let's break down this day of programming from range of motion individualized programming. We start every day with dynamic movements. This is basically taking the movements or the ranges involved in a session and starting to do some dynamic movement-based drills to start them off. You can see there are video demonstrations of each here. We then move on to pre-exercise mobilization. Again, some video demos where you can see the movements being performed, being programmed for our individuals. Moving from there down into pre-exercise activation work, turning on the muscles that are about to be used in that session, again with some videos embedded there. The individual will then build to their working weights, and now we get into the sort of meat of this day's programming. We start off with our power testing. Now there are 4 power tests we do with range of motion individualized programming clients. You can see 2 of them listed here, a 5-stroke max ski erg for peak wattage and a max hang power clean. And you can see these are testing different elements of power. We move then on to a relative strength session. This session is an eccentric session, which improves the ability to generate strength through using our own body weight and maybe some added weight as well to that. Eccentric exercise is a really effective way of building this strength. You can see here, again, we have some demo videos of how to do these exercises for each of the movements in this session, so the individual can ensure that they are performing the standards as required. You can also see here we have a series of session notes, and the session notes are basically an overview of some of the key elements that the individual will need to know for that session. Things like the programming science, you can see some information there on the science behind this session, health and body composition benefits, the performance benefits, strategy, the intended feeling of that session, guidelines to scaling, and some common mistakes. If we go now back into the session, you can see the final piece of training for the day is a heavy loaded conditioning session, which basically trains the intersects of power and strength with cardiorespiratory endurance. So a very effective session. This particular session here is a form of cluster training. Again, session notes and video examples here. We move into a chest to bar pull-up stamina exercise improvement program. This is a series of short 5-minute sessions which are designed to improve the major weaknesses of the clients that we work with. Finally, we go into post-exercise stabilization work just to start to turn on and activate some of those muscles that may have been underactive. So we use the movements in our session as a diagnostic tool, and you can see an example of that here, a demonstration of how to do some of these stability exercises. And finally, the final piece of training for the day is post-exercise mobilization, where again, we use those movements that we've completed for the day as a diagnostic tool and then prescribe these to correct those movements.